Lord, you're beautiful, and your face is all that I see. And I know if you are watching me, I'm safe as safe can be. You're beautiful, Lord, you're beautiful, and your face brings peace to me. And I know if you shine down on me, I'll fulfill my destiny.
So now that you're retiring, what are you gonna do? Work out and fish all day?
Yeah, right. You know, workaholics never retire, Ted. They just switch to something they want to work on instead of something they have to.
What exactly do you want to work on?
Well, now that I don't need to make a living, I'm free full time to work on what God wants me to do. I feel led to go back to college.
College? You already have a degree, don't you?
Yeah, I'm not going to go for another degree, just take some courses.
Where?
Down south somewhere. Never been down there.
Me either. I heard it's beautiful.
Got a daughter down there in Tennessee. I might try it down there even though she won't even talk to me. At least it'll give me a little sample of what life's like for her down there.
I get it. It's the babes, the Southern belles.
You're funny. You know those Southern belles that just be barely older than my grandkids? Besides, my courting days are over.
Excuse me, but I'm baffled. You're too old for romance and college athletics, so why would you shell out the big bucks to pay for tuition to return to the classroom?
Because I'm going to war.
Just when I think I'm tracking you, you throw me a curveball. War.
You know, the majority of those kids don't realize. The majority of their parents don't even realize. Those kids are being brainwashed by liberal, secular humanist professors who use their power over the mighty GPA and their influence over developing young minds.
And you're gonna stop that single-handedly.
I know my limitations, but I know that I can at least touch a few lives if I stand up and speak the truth in love. And maybe, just maybe, someone's gonna grasp the concept that there really is a devil and he is working overtime to deceive us into all manners of destructive beliefs and behaviors.
I can't believe you're doing this to me. I'm a senior and seniors don't stay in the dorms.
You don't have to stay in the dorm.
And you know I don't have the money for rent, and you refuse to pay rent on an apartment, so in reality, you're making me stay in the dorms. It's bad enough that I don't have my own car, and I have to be chauffeured to school like a little elementary school student. But to have to stay in the dorms, it's humiliating. I'm 21 now.
Well, look at the bright side. You're a senior. Only have to do it 1 year. And the next time you want to drink and drive, maybe you will think about the consequences. Consider yourself lucky that I was even willing to pay for your last year of school.
There is no doubt that I'll have to hear about your generosity for the rest of my life. Why won't you buy me a new car?
Because I can't afford a car and insurance and schooling. I'm not the one who wrecked your vehicle.
This sucks. I hate it. If I was to quit school, Dad wouldn't have to pay child support anymore.
So, all of his child support goes to pay your tuition and part of my salary. If you don't want to get your degree, I'd be more than happy to take you to a homeless shelter instead. Maybe you would think that is less humiliating than the dorm.
When we get to the campus, I want you to stay in the car. I don't want anybody seeing me with you.
Fine by me.
Hello?
Hi, can I help you?
Oh, I hope so. I'm looking for Hickerson Hall. I thought this was it, but this appears to be a girls' dormitory.
Oh, this is Hickerson. It's a co-ed dorm.
Co-ed?
Yes, that means both for male and female.
Yeah, I'm aware of what the word co-ed means. I'm just a little bit surprised and confused because I expressly asked for a men's dormitory.
Oh, well, our male dorms book up rather quickly. Is this for your grandson?
Excuse me?
The room, is it for your grandson?
It's for me. What's the matter? Don't you have any sexagenarians ever stay in his dorm?
What?
Sexagenarian. It means someone who's 60-something years old?
Oh.
Ah.
No, we normally only have students under the age of 20 in the dorms. What's your name?
Tie Bounds at your service. That's Bounds.
There you are, Mr. Bounds. All right, let me get your packet for you. And you are in room 327.
Well, thank you much. When I open up this door, 327, I'm not going to find a female roommate behind it, I hope.
No, sir. The dorm is co-ed. The rooms are not. Your roommate is a 20-year-old student named Brad Hansen.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Dad, I appreciate the ride.
Are you kidding? I wouldn't miss this for the world. I don't suppose you remember when I walked you to kindergarten on your first day.
No, but seen the videotape of it 100 times.
Oh, that's right. I wish your mother could share this moment with us.
Me too, but if she hadn't taken the new job to help me get through school, you wouldn't have to drive me here.
True. I love how you grasp reality without flinching.
And reality says it's time you let go. You knew someday I'd fly from the nest.
I know, but that doesn't make it any easier. I'd like to pray with you before I leave today.
I'd love that.
Good. Excuse me, sir. Which way is check-in?
It's right around the corner there.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Hi, I'm Michaela Morris.
Hi, Michaela. I'm Miss Sarah, the dorm mom. It's nice to have you here at Hickerson. Let's get you checked in. All right, there you are. You are in room 268. Your roommate, Stephanie Carter, has already checked in.
Awesome, thank you.
You're welcome.
Can my dad go up with me?
Absolutely, but he shouldn't go in the room itself.
Okay, thank you.
All right, glad to have you.
Hi again. Do you work here?
Oh, actually, I'm starting tomorrow as a student here.
Oh, good for you. So is my daughter.
She looks like a real sweetie.
She is, and my prayer is that she stays that way.
Well, I'll add my prayer to yours. What's her name?
Michaela, you're a praying man?
Absolutely.
I'd appreciate all the prayer you can give Michaela. She's going to be running the gauntlet of temptation and the world system here.
Agreed. You know, not only will I pray for her, I'll try to keep an eye out for her as well.
I can't tell you how much I'd appreciate that. I'm Josiah Morris.
Tie Bounds at your service.
God bless you, sir. And I hope your experience as a non-traditional student will be rewarding.
Well, I can safely say without any fear of being wrong, it's going to be interesting.
Oh, hey.
You must be Stephanie. I'm Michaela Morris. I'm a freshman.
That figures. You got a car?
No, why?
Well, my wheels got towed to the car cemetery last summer, and I was really hoping my roomie would be so kind to lend me hers from time to time.
Sorry.
No problem. I'll just have to mesmerize some boy with a nice car.
You don't have a boyfriend?
Honey, I've got lots of them. I'm a bit of a player. How about you? Either you're a player or you don't like boys, what?
Neither. I'm waiting for the boy that I want to marry.
You can have lots of fun till Prince Charming comes along. There's a party tonight. I can introduce you to a few candidates.
What kind of a party?
You don't have parties where you come from?
My family has birthday parties.
You're in college now. When in Rome, you do as the Romans do. And here, we party hard. Your whole family life is behind you now. I'll just have to find us a ride.
Is this one of those parties where there's alcohol or drugs?
It's not a party without alcohol.
Then you won't need to find a ride for me in that case.
So you don't drink. And let me guess, you're still a virgin too.
Right, on both counts.
Must be some kind of a religious thing.
I'm a Christian.
That figures.
Are you the janitor?
No, why?
Why are you in my room?
Your room? Well, if you're Brad Hanson, that would make this our room. Ty Bounds at your service.
Why are you going to college? I mean, shouldn't you be hanging around the Senior Citizen Center playing bingo and bridge and drinking insured?
Let me guess. You're not a graduate of Dale Carnegie's course on how to win friends and influence people.
No disrespect intended, just I thought that's what seniors did. I mean, that's what my grandpa does.
No offense taken. You know, my philosophy is the mind is like a muscle. If you don't use it, you lose it.
I gotcha. So you're all in. Is that a Bible you're reading?
Affirmative.
That's cool. I mean, here I was worried about getting a party animal for a roommate, not being able to study at all, or much less read my Bible without taking a lot of flack for it.
Well, I've been called an animal before. Never a party animal.
You know, my grandfather's totally computer illiterate. I sure hope you have some knowledge of computers, because it's kind of hard to survive college these days without that skill.
I think I'll be okay in that area. I was a data processing professional for 30 years as a computer programmer.
I think you'll survive.
I can't believe it. I have Joan the Baptist for a roommate.
Why are you even staying in the dorm?
I don't want to talk about it.
Didn't you tell us you were a religious geek when you started college?
She was. I remember that. It took a while for us to get her to a party.
Yeah, but once you got her there, she became the life of the party, right?
Pretty much.
Well, I was. But those days, they're all a distant memory. Professor Tucker's biology class let the air out of my faith balloon real good. I mean, how can Jesus Christ be the Son of God if science proves there is no God?
Exactly.
Look at it this way. You have the chance to change a saint into a sinner.
Good point. I'm gonna have to find satisfaction in something this year. Maybe giving Miss Goody Two-Shoes an extreme makeover is my ticket.
I was wondering, what are the chances of a creationist getting into a graduate program in science here?
Are you asking this question out of curiosity, or would this be a personal matter?
Well, I believe that God created the universe and everything in it, but I would like to get my master's in biology.
I see. Then your chances of being accepted as a graduate student is approximately equivalent to the prospects of a snowball surviving in hell.
And that assessment has nothing to do with my age?
Your age is of no concern to us. Your superstitions and your refusal to accept sound science is. Are you currently a student here?
Yes, sir, starting today.
Excellent. Then I suggest you take Biology 100 from Professor Tucker. She'll coax this creationism from you.
Really? Well, I just happened to be signed up for that class. You know, John Scopes of the infamous monkey trial in Dayton made an interesting observation. His quote was, "There is more intolerance in higher education than in all the mountains of Tennessee." I think Mr. Scopes had it right. Ironically, the word biology means the study of life. Evolutionists leave out the most important thing about life. In fact, they teach us more about death than they do life.
Hello, I'm Jerry and that's my friend Tom.
Hi, Michaela.
Don't look now, but here comes that old guy that lives in our dorm.
Are you kidding me? The man's a fossil. What's he doing in college?
A little bit of science humor.
Not much. He's not a fossil. He's a man, and a nice one at that.
Do you know him?
Not officially.
Hi, Michaela. Oh. You saving the seat for someone?
No, sir.
Oh, thanks.
How did you know my name?
Your dad and I had a little chat after he left you off at the dorm.
Excuse me. I just need to check and make sure that you're a registered student. We don't allow people to just drop in.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have your student card?
Yeah. There you go.
Tie Bounds. Oh, there you are. Well, welcome to my class, Mr. Bounds.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoy yourself thoroughly. You know, it's not often that I get to instruct someone from my generation.
Well, I'm convinced I'm going to find this class absolutely fascinating. I do hope you allow student interaction.
Oh, from you, I'd be very receptive.
I think she likes you.
Not for long. That poor woman doesn't know what's about to hit her.
Welcome to Biology 100. I'm Dr. Tucker, and this is my 25th year teaching this class. I'd like to start this semester with a question. And I am going to ask this same question during the last class of the semester, and we'll see the comparison. I would like all of you who believe that God created the universe and life as it is to stand up. Yeah, we always have a number of students who cling to the superstition. But by the time you finish my course, almost no one stands to confess this foolishness. All right, you can all sit down. Now, I would like to put one student on the spot, and then we'll begin to learn how life evolved on this planet to where we are today. Mr. Bounds, would you care to make a brief statement about how you feel about my question?
Well, the fool has said in his heart that there is no God.
Are you calling me a fool, Mr. Bounds?
Seems to me you just called me one a second ago. But no. I'm just merely quoting the Bible. I'll let everyone extrapolate from that to the logical conclusion that follows.
Shaping young minds is what I do. It's easier than working with minds that have been filled with a lifetime of superstition, folklore. But I fully embrace the challenge of bringing light into your darkness.
Huh. Ditto.
Did you hear about what happened in Tucker's bio class today?
No, what happened?
I heard some old guy went toe-to-toe with her about her opening challenge.
Old guy, like 30-something?
No, a really old guy. Like a grandpa type. My little brother's in that class. He was telling me all about it.
I heard there's a senior citizen staying in my dorm. It might be the same guy.
I can just picture Tucker drilling into him with her piercing eyes.
She did. But he took her best shot.
So far, maybe. It's only the first day. She'll wear him down. You take Biology 100 with Tucker, right?
Yeah.
I heard she was challenged by a student today, old enough to know Charles Darwin.
That's Ty Bounds. He's not even close to being that old.
You know him?
I was sitting right next to him when it happened.
How'd she take it?
Funny thing is, she was acting like she had a crush on him before he stood up and declared that he believed in God.
Shut up.
Seriously.
Is he the gray hair from our dorm?
Yeah, and I'm having dinner with him tonight. Want to join us?
Yeah, I'd love to meet someone that stood up to Tucker. So is that good?
Hi.
Hi.
Michaela Morris, I'd like to present to you my roommate, Brad Hansen.
Nice to meet you, Brad. This is my roommate, Stephanie Carter.
Nice to meet both of you.
Nice to meet you.
Should we pray? Ty?
Go for it.
All right. Dear God, thank you for this day and thank you for this food. I pray that you would nourish our bodies with it now. And I pray these things through Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
All right.
So, Stephanie, why don't you tell us about yourself?
I'd prefer to talk about different things, like why you go to school here.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, contrary to popular rumor, it's not so I could annoy Professor Tucker. You know, I've gathered a wealth of knowledge and wisdom over my lifetime, and I just wanted to share it with anybody who would like to listen.
Okay. So, Brad, what's your story?
Just a good old country boy getting me an education. My dad owns a big ranch he wants me to take over someday, but I want to do different things in my life.
Really? I bet you have some nice wheels to get around.
Pickup truck.
Really? You mind giving me a ride sometime? I've never driven a pickup.
I'd love that.
To give me a ride or let me drive?
How about both?
Okay.
Hey, Steph. You find some new crew to hang out with this year?
Yeah, I've decided to hang out with Homo sapiens this year. The Neanderthal thing was getting a little old.
Neanderthal? Really? Is that a way to speak to an old flame?
That flame went out so totally that there is no evidence that it ever existed.
Your mouth's saying one thing, but your eyes are telling me you still want me.
Your ego reminds me of the universe. It's still expanding.
And why shouldn't it? Don't tell me this is that infamous Gramps that everyone's talking about on campus.
Why don't you step out of character and be nice for a change? I mean, what are you doing in the cafeteria anyway?
I'm here recruiting for my intramural squad. By the way, do you know any good athletes that aren't taken?
Maybe Brad would be interested.
Yeah, I'd love to be on a team. Did I mention I need good athletes?
So what sports do they offer?
Well, just about everything. What's it to you? Trying to show off some talent, old man?
That sounds like fun.
Well, I don't think they have shuffleboard, but I think you could be a manager for some lame team.
Or maybe I could start my own team.
Yeah, you do that. We need another laugh around campus. I'm gonna get back to recruiting for all the studs are gone. See you on the football field, Gramps?
Yeah, maybe so.
You used to date that jerk?
I refuse to answer that on the grounds that it will embarrass me.
Were you serious about starting an intramural team, Ty?
Oh, absolutely. You want to be on it?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'd love nothing better than to show up that arrogant jerk.
And I'd love to see you do it.
Wouldn't exactly break my heart to serve him a big piece of humble pie.
Can I be a cheerleader?
Oh, absolutely. I'd love that. But we haven't got any team members yet, so maybe you girls will help us recruit.
I'd be glad to. I look forward to seeing the agony of defeat on Jace's face.
But we only want to recruit people that love the Lord. You know, I want to name the team Sons of the King.
Something wrong, Stephanie?
Oh, no, nothing.
You know, there's a meeting at Fellowship of Christian Athletes tomorrow night. I'm going to go there and see if I can find somebody.
Good idea.
Jace had some Christians on his team last year. Maybe you could steal them away?
We'd be doing them a favor, I think.
You know what? I'm gonna go talk to some guys right now that might be interested.
Can I come with you?
Sure.
Hey, look over there. There must be a meeting of the Flat Earth Society.
Hey, Gramps, why didn't you tell Noah to leave the mosquitoes off the ark?
Some of your fans?
Yeah, right.
Were you, by any chance, trying to line me up with Brad?
Hey, there's nothing matter with a little matchmaking, is there?
Except, You should have told me. I would have left my roommate at home. Looks like she stole him away.
You know, I have a really good feeling about Brad. Stephanie, not so much. The word of the Lord that I received was, a double-minded woman is unstable in all her ways.
She doesn't appear very double-minded to me. She seems to have her mind totally set on having fun. And it appears that fun involves Brad. At least for the moment.
I know what you're saying, but I think she's wrestling with God. I really sense that she knew him at one time, and now she's running away from him.
If that's true, she's running as fast as she can.
Hey, can we have your autograph, Gramps?
Are you mocking me?
No. You're our hero if you stood up to Professor Tucker.
I'm no hero. I'm just doing what needs to be done.
You're a legend on campus in just one day. I can't wait to see what you have for the rest of the year.
Well, legend or no legend, I don't do autographs. But hey, maybe I could get your autographs. I just happen to be forming an intramural team. I need some team members. You guys interested?
Cool. Sign me up.
Me too.
Here's my card. Shoot me an email with your contact information, and I'll get back to you, and we'll get you on the roster.
Hey, thanks.
Thanks, Gramps.
Two.
Do you, like them calling you Gramps?
Not especially. But there's not a whole lot I can do about it. There's a lot worse names they could call me.
Have you had a lot of requests for autographs?
No. But there have been a lot of kids coming up and talking to me, most of them confrontational, and some have been supportive. You know, the grapevine must really be green here. I just wish the gospel could travel as fast as the gossip.
Amen. But how do they know that it's you?
Oh, hello. I stand out in this campus like a pink Cadillac at a mafia funeral. I'm the only gray-headed guy around here with a backpack and tenny runners on. I'm just gonna have to get used to it.
We're part of the computer club, and we heard you were a computer guy, but also a creationist. How can that be?
Oh, let me guess. You guys read Wired magazine.
Duh.
Yeah.
Let me answer your question with a question. What organ in the human body is the most like a computer?
Well, that's a no-brainer. Pun intended. But no, it's the brain.
So where did the information come from that controls the function of the brain? Operating system, you might consider it.
It evolved.
I must point out that in order for something to evolve, it must exist previously. I don't see how you guys can even consider that both the software and the hardware of the brain could materialize out of a bunch of cells going through a set of non-directed mutations. You know, and even if that could happen, what good would a brain be if it's not connected to the central nervous system?
Not a lot. It would be like a computer with no input or output capability, no keyboard, mouse, audio.
Exactly, you got it. And then you have to ask yourself the question in the first place, how did this organism survive without a brain in order so it could develop a brain later? So what are the lungs for?
For inputting oxygen to give to the cells, mostly brain cells.
So how does that oxygen get there?
By the hemoglobin in the blood.
You guys are good. So can the brain survive without that blood and the oxygen?
No, not for very long.
So what came first? The blood or the brain? Or the lungs? Or the heart that's needed to pump the blood to the brain? Or the liver, which is needed to clean the blood, etc. Can't you see how all these systems are dependent upon one another for survival? The idea that they could develop individually and slowly yet come together to work together the way they do should be considered ridiculous, not science. Let's get back to the brain. Which is more complex? A computer which is designed by man, or the brain which you think evolved through some mutations?
The brain is much more complex.
Exactly. Now maybe you can see why I have a hard time accepting that a bunch of molecules of hydrogen, oxygen, carbon, etc., just hanging around together and one day came together to form a living cell that had reproductive capabilities, no less. And then later they gathered together by the billions to form this supercomputer, which controls the function of an amazing machine, which we call a human being.
Wow. I've never heard this stuff explained like this before. This makes sense.
Which means that could make Darwin's book, The Origin of the Species, nonsense. Instead of reading Wired magazine, I suggest you guys pick up a book entitled, I Don't Have Enough Faith to Be an Atheist.
We should see if the bookstore has it.
I bet they do.
I bet they do too. Let's go. Thanks, Gramps.
I used to think that universities were supposed to teach us how to think. But I'm starting to realize that they're trying to teach us what to think.
Bingo.
Natural selection is the mechanism of evolution. And today we have a perfect example of how natural selection causes the evolution of resistance to insecticides. Mr. Bounce.
I'm sorry, but I'm really having trouble getting a handle on this natural selection. Could you explain its properties to me?
Properties?
Yeah, size, weight, color. What's its chemical composition? Does it matter? Is it energy?
Well, it doesn't have properties. It provides effects that we readily see in the lab or in nature.
So something that has no physical properties whatsoever causes living organisms to mutate?
Yes. Well, no.
Which one is it?
Natural selection doesn't cause the changes. That's just the name of the process. Basically, organisms that are better adapted to their environment, these are the ones that survive, and they produce their offspring. Now, what causes that? That could be a recessive gene or chance mutation, but somehow they're better suited, and so they survive and they pass down that DNA.
Then why does it say in the book, natural selection causes the evolution? Pardon my French here, Professor, but it just seems to me that these textbook authors, with your help, are trying to sell us a crock. And that crock ain't full of butter.
Are you almost done, Mr. Bounds?
For today. I think I've sufficiently introduced my fellow students here to the concept that just because something's written in a textbook, that doesn't make it the truth. It's kind of funny. People won't accept that God exists because they can't see him, but they'll embrace and even evangelize natural selection, which has no physical properties we can even see.
We have a lot of scientific material to cover here today. How about we just take this discussion offline? Perhaps you and I could meet over a cup of coffee and I can clarify it for you.
Yeah, I'd welcome that opportunity.
Fine. And now, to reiterate the importance of evolution in this classroom, the science of evolution is the glue that holds all of biology together.
Man. Yeah. You can drive.
I can. No, that was a lot of fun. Can I do it again sometime?
Sure.
How'd you like to go to a party Saturday night?
Are you asking me generically, or are you asking me out?
Well, I guess I'm asking you out. It is the 21st century, and girls do that, especially when the guy doesn't seem to take a hint.
I didn't know if you wanted to be just friends or what.
Well, after Saturday, we'll know more about what we want.
All right, where's the party at?
It's at a friend's house.
I don't know. I really don't go to parties.
You do want to be with me, don't you?
Yeah.
Then come.
Okay.
So,
What's the story with this Gramps character who's the talk of the campus?
Oh no, don't tell me this has gone beyond my classroom.
Okay, I won't tell you, but it has.
Wonderful. Luckily, I've got a little talk scheduled with Gramps.
This guy must be a real moron. Or perhaps crazy.
Oh, far from it.
Well, are you going to kick him out of class, or at least threaten to?
It's crossed my mind, but I hate to duck out in such a challenge. It's been a while since I've had such a worthy adversary.
What constitutes the qualifications for worthy?
Bold, intelligent.
Handsome?
I guess some women might find him attractive.
Do you?
You're getting personal, Vaughn.
Well, you know I'm jealous.
Oh, I'm so sorry that the mutual attraction's not on my end. And besides, I just think your wife might object.
Yeah, whatever. But what you might do to gain a victory over this adversary is use some of your feminine charms to give him a real biology lesson, if you catch my drift.
Vaughn?
Just saying.
So, are you this much trouble in all your classes, or are you just targeting me?
I'm an equal opportunity troublemaker, but you know, most classes don't teach something as debatable as evolution.
All educated people accept evolution.
All educated people accept that organisms evolve slightly to adapt to their environment, but not all scientists and scholars accept that you and I descended from some ape-like creatures which descended from some lower life forms, which all descended from some one-cell organisms.
Well, those people are in a definite minority.
True, and you and your peers are trying your best to make sure it remains that way, using suppression of freedom of thought.
Hey, I let you argue your points in class. That is not suppression.
All right, I'll grant you that, but were you actively encouraging people to question the contents of the textbook, or are you just like a cat playing with a mouse, you know, just amusing yourself?
Well, you don't seem like the mousy type.
Cute. You know, back in my day, education was all about memorization and regurgitation. You stuffed your head with a bunch of knowledge, took the test, and promptly forgot most of it. Then you just got ready for the next test.
Well, that's still basically true.
Yeah, but there's one big difference in the teaching of evolution.
And what's that?
Students can forget every single detail that's scientific in nature, but they remember one key point, that life is nothing but a bunch of cells having chemical reactions. And when those reactions cease, there's nothing left but dust in the wind.
And what's your point?
You're a bright gal. I'm pretty sure you get my point. You think you're pretty special, don't you?
What?
Come on, you think that you're better than most people because of your superior intelligence and your physical beauty, maybe.
Wait, so you're accusing me of having an ego problem?
No. Maybe I'm accusing you of being human, but come on, just admit it. You feel special.
Okay, so if I'm going to be completely honest, I guess they have some vestiges of a superiority complex.
So what makes your chemical reactions, your thoughts, your dust, any more special than the janitor or the garbage man, or how about that possum lying in the ditch that tried unsuccessfully to find out why the chicken crossed the road?
You know, my intelligence is not derived from an opinion. I think I've successfully proven my brain capacity with qualified testing. I'm a member of Mensa.
You know, many creationists are also members of Mensa, but you consider them to be morons because they won't accept the gospel of Charles Darwin.
Oh, come on. You're going to be accusing scientists of participating in religion?
More like anti-religion, but you know, there is an element of faith involved, and they use similar proselytizing techniques as they spread their gospel of death.
No, here I was working under the assumption that you were a man of intelligence.
You know, I also qualify to be a member of Mensa, but I don't put much stock in that. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. In the end, Godly wisdom is much more important than human knowledge and intelligence. Alfred Lord Tennyson said, "Knowledge comes, but wisdom lingers, and if I might add, it lingers eternally."
You just never take a rest from this campaign trail, do you?
Well, it's not my campaign, okay? Would you do me a favor?
It depends what it is.
Some clear night, I want you to gaze up into the stars and just consider how immense the universe is and how small our Earth is within it. And then consider how small you are in relationship to the Earth. And as you ponder your insignificance in the vast scheme of things, just imagine being the daughter of the author of all of that majesty. Just try it.
I have gazed at stars before.
But you didn't ponder the right questions at the time. C.S. Lewis said that miracles are simply the retelling of the same story in small letters that are written in letters too large for some people to see across the whole world. While you're gazing at those stars, imagine dying, which you will one day, and finding yourself in the courtroom of God. Who's going to be considered the morons when the judgment day arrives?
Yeah, these are fairy tales. Look, we'll see in the end who's right.
I'm sorry to pop your bubble here, but if you're right and there is no God, you'll never know it. You'll never get that chance to yell, "Yippee! I win! There is no eternal life," because you'll just be dust. On the other hand, if I'm right, you're going to know full well, and you're going to know that you blew it big time. Now I got to get going. Somebody has piled a whole bunch of homework on me, and I can't afford to get behind.
Well, wait. Before you go, how about I treat you to dinner sometime?
What? You're trying to bribe me so I'll behave in your class?
Au contraire, Pierre. I think I'd like to continue this conversation.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Where would we eat?
My house? Yeah, I think I'd like to make something special.
Your house? Okay. When?
About Friday, November 20th. Would that work for you?
I'll make it work.
You sure you don't want?
I can't stand the taste of beer.
We'll get you something that goes down more smoothly then. One of my friends bring bourbon and lemonade.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. My family's always avoided alcohol.
Loosen up, handsome. Have some fun.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What do we have here? What are you doing here, Hanson? Trying to recruit for your intramural team? You know I don't like the fact you took two of my players from me. Well, they say all's fair in love and war. If war's what you want, I can give that to you. As far as love goes, why don't we go somewhere private and talk about our passions?
I'm with Brad now.
Are you serious? Yeah. Thought you wanted a man. This guy doesn't even drink. Of course I do. Come on, Stephanie. Let's go check out that bourbon.
I've got a real man.
You better not be mixing that bourbon with lemonade or something like that. When? I don't need you, Steph. There are plenty of hot girls in this party.
Brad?
Sorry. I didn't mean to wake you up.
What are you doing out so late?
Talking with Stephanie.
Brad, are you sure that's all you were doing?
Pretty much.
I know I'm not your dad, but if your dad was like my dad, you never got that little talk about the birds and the bees. I hope you don't mind me poking my nose.
We weren't messing around.
Well, that's good, but I still feel I need to warn you about Stephanie. You know, a pretty woman can entice a man into trouble that oxen couldn't drag him into. With the sexual revolution in full bloom, Stephanie probably believes that premarital sex is just fine. I just want to make sure that you avoid making a great mistake.
There's no need to preach to the choir here, okay? I've always had the goal of getting into my marriage as a virgin.
I'm thrilled. But don't walk too close to the edge of the road. The sexual urge is the most powerful thing that humans experience. You know, the best laid intentions of mice and men have oft gone astray. They've been dashed into millions of pieces by letting temptation get one little foot in the door.
Gotcha. Well, I'd better get some sleep. Gotta get up for church in a few hours.
Yeah, I know. We'll just continue this talk later, okay? And when we do, I want to mention that smell of alcohol that is filling the room right now. Good night.
Night. Mind if I sit here?
That'd be great.
So, why are you sitting all alone?
Most of the kids, they just want to talk about parties and junk. I have no desire to hang with them.
I understand. How's school going?
Some days, I wonder what I'm doing here.
Yeah, I've been there.
How's Ty?
Upset with me.
Why?
I let him down. I was out late at a party last night and didn't mean to drink, but ended up getting persuaded to do it and had a little too much.
I know. Stephanie's my roommate. She was bragging about how she got you to let your hair down. It made me sick.
Ty warned me that a pretty girl can get a guy in a bunch of trouble. But sometimes I feel like I'm a moth and Stephanie's a candle. And I just can't help flying into the flames.
The Bible says that if you resist the devil, he'll flee from you.
Are you saying Stephanie's the devil?
No, I'm just saying that he might be using her to get to you. Wait, are you leaving? Did I say something wrong?
The first intramural event of the year's today. I gotta get everything done so I can go see Ty play in the chess tournament.
Aren't you that anti-science guy?
I'm not anti-science. I am anti-BS.
Anti-BS. So you mean to tell me you think science is BS?
No, not if it's practiced in the way it's intended, using a strict application of the scientific method. But much of what passes for science today is misinformation, propaganda, and downright lies.
Really? Evolution in particular? Anything else?
For example, fluoridation of the drinking water.
So you mean to tell me that you want our kids to have cavities?
Of course not.
Well, scientific studies prove that fluoride prevents the decay of teeth.
Well, some have and some haven't. Have you ever stopped to think that there might be bias involved in scientific research, giving new meaning to the term political science?
Listen, man, you sound paranoid. Facts are facts.
Are they? Well, what if the company that's selling the sodium fluoride bribes some official?
They've been using this stuff for decades. It hasn't hurt anybody.
We have a cancer epidemic going on, a myriad of illnesses that the doctors can't explain, like fibromyalgia. There is a source to that stuff. Could it possibly be that sodium fluoride is a culprit?
No, I don't think so.
Let's look at it this way. If there's even a chance that this stuff is causing people to get sick or worse, would that justify putting it in the drinking water to prevent a few cavities?
Of course not.
They don't put vitamins in the drinking water.
Yeah, hold on. They put vitamins in drinks that you can buy.
Exactly. Why didn't they do that with the sodium fluoride, especially those sugary drinks that cause the cavities in the first place?
They put it in your toothpaste.
Not mine, they don't. See, that's the beauty of going down to the store and buying something. I could choose which has fluoride and what doesn't. When the government supplies the drinking water, I don't have a choice, and they're basically forcing me to ingest poison.
You started this conversation to get my mind off the game.
No, you started it.
Well, can we not continue it afterwards? You're killing my concentration.
I noticed. Checkmate. Did you know that our supply of sodium fluoride is now being provided by China, that bastion of security and safety and health practices? Hey, doesn't that make you feel all warm and cuddly?
You sure schooled him.
In chess or in the application of science in the real world?
Both.
You know, if I wasn't convinced that God was in control, I'd have trouble sleeping at night wondering what mega company is going to poison me with their products because somewhere along the line they bribed somebody whose job it was to protect me and the rest of humanity.
Check. I've got you cornered. Why don't you just concede?
Well, if you can tell me how I can concede and win, I'll be glad to.
That's ridiculous.
Right, I can't win if I quit. You know, I never give up without a fight. I make it a point to never quit.
Okay, it's just a matter of time.
We'll see.
Check. Check. Checkmate.
Not so fast. The king has one more move.
Oh yeah, you're right. After this move though, you're dead in the water. Next move is checkmate.
Can't block you, can I? But I can do this. Checkmate.
What? No way. I was so focused on my offense I lost track of what you were doing.
It happens.
Good game. Hail to the Intramural chess champion.
You're a noble adversary.
Hey, by the way, I'm in your bio class. Thanks for standing up for those of us that are afraid.
You got to be kidding me.
Are those the standings?
Yeah. And thanks to those wimp sports like ping pong and chess, y'all are in first place. But we're catching up with football.
Cross-country races tomorrow. We'll rack up some points there.
Yeah, who do y'all have?
Ty and I.
You mean Gramps? Are they gonna let him ride a bike because of his old age? Ha, cross-country's a wimp sport anyways.
Seriously? When's the last time you ran 2 miles?
Never have and never will.
Just the lack of physical contact doesn't qualify cross-country as a sport for pansies. Pain is inflicted in more way than one.
Yeah, whatever. We're gonna have a killer basketball, golf, and tennis team anyways.
Ty plays tennis.
Oh, I can't wait to kick his...
Tennis is a non-contact sport. Wouldn't that make you a wimp for playing it?
Shouldn't you be playing stickball in the middle of heavy traffic? Oh, that's mature.
What do you know about maturity? Why don't you just try...
Yeah, control bird.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to salvage what little dignity you have left. Now look, maybe I shouldn't say this, but cute when you're mad. Please don't get mad at me like that, though. It's much cuter when Jason's on the receiving end.
Then why didn't you let him receive some more?
Blessed is the peacemaker for...
That.
On your marks, get set, go!
They're leaving him in the rearview mirror. He's in last place. I wonder if the doctors warned him about eating dust.
It's a 2-mile race. It just started. Some of those guys are going out way too fast.
And what's your name, cutie?
Forget about it, Jace. She's a good girl and she's smart too.
Save yourself some embarrassment.
Well, besides, she's got her eye on your boyfriend.
Yeah! First and second, go Demons!
Brad's got kicked, so it's time. Come on, guys.
11:52, 11:53, 11:55. How could my guys lose to a senior citizen?
Probably because they don't train, and they fill their bodies with substances that slow them down.
You may be cute, but you are irritating.
1 out of 2 for you. And cute, not being the one.
Way to go, Brad.
Nice race, honey.
I think it's time to celebrate. Strawberry shakes are all my treat.
Count me in. We'll pass.
Let's go.
Why'd you turn down a shake? I'm thirsty.
I'm thirsty too, but not for milkshakes. The party's tomorrow night, and I kind of want to warm up for it tonight.
Stephanie, I can't go out drinking again. Not after that talk I had with Ty.
Come on. You're not going to let that old man run your life, are you?
No, but I do value his wisdom.
Okay. I'll drop it tonight if you promise to go tomorrow night.
How about I just be the designated driver?
Okay. Tomorrow, you drive. Tonight, I get to drive.
What?
Right on time. I do love a punctual man.
Doesn't take much to win your affection.
If that were true, there would have been a lot more men in my life. I do consider males the weaker of the two sexes.
Oh, why doesn't that surprise me? Maybe it's because nothing surprises me anymore. Our world's gotten tipped upside down the last couple of years.
You sound like such a pessimist. You're not like one of those doomsday prophets, are you?
Some days I feel like it.
Well, it's night, so let it go. And as queen of this castle, I command you to relax and have fun. You do remember what that is, don't you?
Oh, let me squeeze my brain a little bit here, and maybe I can dig out a recollection of such a phenomenon.
You know, I think I finally understand what draws me to you.
What's that?
I can't figure you out. I would just like to put you on the end of a pin and just study you with a magnifying glass, microscope. Just figure out what it is that makes you tick.
That sounds like it might hurt. Besides, you're not going to get the answers you're looking for.
And why's that?
Because what makes me tick is not visible even with an electron microscope.
Let me guess. God.
You didn't even need the microscope or the pin.
Well, good, because I don't know where my butterfly net or my pins are. Would you like something to eat?
Oh, absolutely. Smells delicious.
Not divine?
Oh, no. I reserve that word for more appropriate situations.
God again. You know, you remind me of my family's old stereo. Always get stuck. We'd have to, get... Am I going to need to kick it to get you out of your groove?
I don't think a little kick's going to do the trick. Nuclear explosion might.
Well, then I'm slightly underarmed. How about you sit down? I'll bring out the food.
Can I help?
No, just sit down right over there.
Okay.
Eat.
Pull my chair out for me.
Yeah. Here we go. Now, I do hope you like red wine.
I'm just planning on not whining at all.
Of course, the Eagle Scout does not taint his body with intoxicating spirits.
You know, I never have. I always found it interesting that when food ferments, they throw it away. But with beverages, they put them on a pedestal after fermentation.
Funny. So, are you now going to do that ritual where you tell God what a good father he is for showering you with manna from heaven?
Oh, I'd like to.
Oh, good. Well, you do that, and then I'll start drinking my wine and yours.
Close your eyes. I want to lay a surprise on you.
Okay. Wait, what are you doing? I'm hot.
Do you want me to look at you while we're talking?
Well, of course.
Then you have to cover up your charms. I may be a scout, but a saint. But I want to be, so an ounce of prevention's worth a pound of cure.
All right. Now tonight we're going to have a little bit of a drinking contest. Yeah, come on. Only $20 to get in. Winner walks away with the whole pot. Yeah. If he or she can still walk. All right, anybody takers? Come on. Anyone? Oh, yeah.
Can you give me a 20, Brad?
For what?
To shut up the big mouth.
Just let him do his peacock impression. Who cares?
All right. Anybody else? All right. All right. Anybody else? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, balance up!
Well, thank you so much. That was really delectable.
Wow, I am glad you enjoyed it. Well, look at that. We didn't even argue during dinner.
Yeah, the topic of evolution never came up either.
So, is it just that I need to say to you that Charles Darwin is a flim-flam man or a charlatan, and then you'd like me?
I really don't think that Darwin was a con man. He truly believed what he wrote. I think the devil's the real con man here. You know, doesn't it ever bother you that some of your best students, because they reject evolution, are precluded from the graduate programs in science?
Well, they obviously reject knowledge, and so they shouldn't be given advanced degrees. Do you know that there are people who would like to see those degrees stripped after the fact from anyone who embraces creationism?
Yeah, I know. So if student A knows all the answers, but they reject evolution, you consider them an inferior student to this academically challenged dude who embraces Darwin's tree of life as he drew it, even though evolutionists dispute that one.
Absolutely.
Have you ever considered that maybe there really is a heaven and a hell, and that people like you are condemning young people to eternal punishment because of your teaching?
Have you ever considered just grabbing me and having some fun?
I think you've had a little bit too much of that fermented grape juice.
No. Actually, I have had just the right amount. You see, I had to handicap myself, give you a fighting chance, just in case we engaged in any heavy discussion.
I'm afraid I'd take advantage of you.
No.
Intellectually, that is.
Well, you don't need to be afraid, honey. You can take advantage of me any way you want.
You're not acting like a professor right now.
I am off duty.
Well, as a disciple of Jesus Christ, I'm never off duty, so please, let's get back to the science.
Oh, okay.
Hypothetical situation here. Suppose you and I are mathematicians, and we don't like the number 4, so we just remove it from the numbering system, okay? You with me?
Mm-hmm.
So then we go around and we ask people, what does 2 plus 2 equal? What's going to be their answer?
Well, if you've taken out the number 4, then they could never give you the right answer.
Exactly. That's what scientists do when they remove God from the equation, and then they try to explain the intricacies of the world. They take away the correct answer so no one can answer it right. And then they make up their own answers, and they force it down our throats.
Well, tell me this. If God is the correct answer, then why don't you get your magnifying glass, your microscope, and you show me God?
I could be real cute here and say something like, God, like natural selection, can't be seen. only the effects of God, but it's not true. People have seen Jesus. There's reports coming, especially among the Jews and the Muslims, that Jesus is appearing to them.
Well, I wonder what kind of wine they're drinking. Okay, so if you won't take advantage of me, then I am going to take advantage of you.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. I hate to eat and run, but I'm out of here. Thanks a lot. For dinner, that is.
What? Self-righteous, inflated, pompous SOB. Who do you think you are? Nobody walks out on me! I'm gonna give him a piece of my mind.
Hi.
Okay.
I'm glad you're back. I have a really bad feeling that something's wrong with Brad.
Do you know where he is?
There was a party. He took Stephanie. Can you drive me out there?
Come on, let's go.
Hey, have you seen Ty Bounds, that the guy they call Gramps?
Yes, ma'am. He just left to go to the party.
Party? Where is the party?
I don't think I should tell you.
You know, I'm not a cop. Just tell me where the party is.
There's a church on Pine Road.
I know exactly where that.
You said you go.
I'm going to the party.
Had enough party for one night.
And no, I gotta give him a piece of my mind. Gramps, Ty, Superman.
Oh, come on. Well, I'm driving.
That feels so good.
You okay? Let me get her blanket. She's fine. She's gonna wake up in the morning with a gigantic headache to bruised ego. I'm pretty. What was she drinking? I was a Everclear, 190 proof. What? Are you crazy? Someone call 911. Oh my God. She has no vital sign. What are you saying? I'm saying she's dead. She had 20 shots in 3 minutes. Oh man, we gotta get out of here. Trouble. No, just drunk. Come on, babe. I still love you. I forgive you for breaking up with me. Come on. Stephanie's dead. Someone call 911? Yes, but it's too late. I never should have brought her out here and given her the money. Why are your teeth get something useful in biology? Like alcohol friends or brain something that kills people? Yet you waste your time to historical fairy tales about evolution.
I need to pray over her.
It's too late. She's gone.
Oh, it's not too late. Mother gosh. Stephanie isn't ready to go yet. She once knew you and it walked away. Please give her a second chance. I command this body to be restored to life. In the name of Jesus Christ. Awake, Stephanie, and arise.
She's moving. She's alive.
It was terrible. It was absolutely terrifying.
What was terrible?
A fire. I saw fire.
Okay. Hey, don't talk, all right? Help us on the way. Okay, just stay with. This is impossible.
impossible.
Well, are you sure she was dead?
Absolutely.
Take me home, please.
Some clear night, I want you to gaze up into the stars.
What are you looking at?
Vaughn, have you ever had like, I don't know, like a chill go up your spine or like you're watching some poignant movie and all of a sudden just tears come up in your eyes?
Yeah, why?
Well, how does that emotion fit in with evolution? I mean, that's the part that's never made any sense. Emotions, they make us weaker, vulnerable. Maybe we are more than just dust in the wind.
We need to get you home to bed. The wine and the emotional experience we went through tonight is really messing you up.
Are you serious? You just saw a girl raised from the dead? If that doesn't mess with your paradigm of life, then I'd say you're dead already.
I must have been wrong when I pronounced her dead.
What's that?
It's just some directions I printed out on MapQuest to an appointment I had down in Nashville.
We teach that the universe is comprised of matter and energy. Are these directions matter or energy?
Well, the paper and the ink are clearly matter. Energy was applied to get the ink onto the paper.
Yeah, but what about the information? Like, how do you classify that? The sentences that tell you which streets to turn on, the freeway exits to get off. I mean, can information be considered matter or energy?
I never thought about it. I don't see how it really fits into either.
That's my point, exactly. Or I guess I should say Tybound's point, which he kept hammering home to me, but I just would not acknowledge it. Information is the third element of the universe. And Ty went on to suggest that there might be a fourth element.
What's that?
Okay, when you read these directions, you chose to follow them. Like you exercised your will to either ignore or use this information. Well, that was separate from the information itself. That was neither matter nor energy.
Interesting concept.
Yeah, but here's the kicker. Evolution is caused by changes in the genes of the organisms that are comprised of information. But where does that information come from that makes those mutations possible?
Come on, you're drunk.
No, not so much. Actually, I think at this moment I am seeing more clearly than I ever have in my life.
Can we go in the chapel? Sure. That's okay with you. No problem. I'll give you two some privacy. I'll be waiting. Mom, thank you so much for dropping everything and coming to see me. Are you kidding? There's nothing more important in my life. Except for God. That's the way it should be. To be honest, I've really let God slide really far down in my priority list lately. But to have my little girl miraculously restored to me has completely changed my outlook on things. Makes the two of us. I'm sorry for being such pain. You've already apologized 3 times and I've accepted 3 times. Make it 4, please. I mean, where did I go wrong? 3.5 years ago, I entered college believing that God existed and that He loved me. I let Him go so easily and quickly. Mom, do you believe in the devil? Did he whisper in my ear like he did Eve and I ate of his apple. It makes a lot of sense when you look at the world around us today. All your college professors, all the entertainment professionals around you are listening to him and helping to deceive other kids like you. I'm not listening to his voice anymore.
Stephanie?
Brad. What are you doing here?
I came to visit the invalid, but it appears she no longer needs company.
It's nice of you. And the flowers? For me?
No, they're actually for this cute little nurse. Yes, of course, they're for you.
Thank you. Brad, I'd like you to another. Barbara Carter.
Nice to meet you.
We're going to a restaurant to celebrate Stephanie's escape from hospital food. You're welcome to join us. I'd love to hear all about you.
It would be an honor, ma'am.
Good morning. Professor Tucker is no longer employed by this university. I'll be your temporary instructor until a replacement can be found.
Any clue what happened?
I'm not sure. But I think that maybe she found God Friday night, and either she can't bring herself to teach this junk anymore, or they won't let her.
Ty just won his bracket. On to the final four.
Awesome. Well, Jace is already in it, so this should be interesting.
Oh, man. Wasn't today. You stay out of this. I'm warning you, Gramps. You better not step on the court when the real games start, especially when we're out there. Else I'm gonna have to show you why basketball really is a contact sport.
Whatever. That's
Now, Jace, look. We don't score more points than the Sons of the King this season. We're not going to get a chance to catch them.
Don't use that name in front of me. Use the term the enemy. Now tell me something I don't know.
That old man. He used to coach basketball. He played on the college tennis team for 4 years. And he's an accomplished bowler. We need to get rid of him.
What, bump him off?
No, nothing physical. We'll just get him kicked out of school.
How?
Well, he's not in good standing with the administration because of that whole evolution thing. It's not going to take him much to get him pushed out the door. What if he was accused of buying alcohol for minors?
I like the way you think. But who's going to do it? They probably won't believe me.
I got a friend in theater. He's been wanting for a role like this. It's not even going to take him much. He owes me a favor. He'll do it.
Make it happen.
Sit down, Mr. Bounds. I have some bad news for you.
Bad news?
We've been forced to expel you from this university.
Expelled? You know, that's a great title for a movie.
Well, you're not exactly been expelled. There's only 1 week left to go in this semester, and we thought you might as well finish it and accept your credits, but you will not be welcomed back the second semester.
May I ask why?
Mr. Bounds, you have been a distraction and disruption on this campus from day one. I have been keeping an eye on you. And then some allegations came up that, well, sealed your fate.
Allegations? I think I understand now. Perfectly.
What do you think of the intramurals?
Well, they officially gave me the boot.
No way.
That's not fair. Why would they do that?
The devil didn't want me here. But I'm not going to let him win. You know, the truth that man was made in God's image must never bow down to that lie that says that man is no more important than any other species.
So, what are you going to now? Go back to South Dakota?
I'm not exactly thrilled at the prospect of returning to South Dakota until old man Winter gets out of there. I feel led that I'm going to stay here. I'm going to get an apartment, and I'm going to help people at the church. You know, the youth group, the seniors, and I want to teach Bible studies for those college kids. And I want to help win the Intramural championships for the Sons of the King.
I don't think you'll get much of a turnout for your Bible studies. I mean, kids are pretty much bored to death with Christianity.
That's so wrong. If we lived like Jesus intended, life would be exciting.
I'm with you, Michaela. You know, if we really walked according to God's will, our lives would be like, you know, like Frodo's journey in Lord of the Rings. I mean, just one adventure after another, you know, while we're fulfilling that mission that God intended for us.
Such as going to college when you're 60-something?
Exactly.
Well, I wish you well with it. But how are you going to help us with intramurals now that you can't play? I mean, they won't even let you on campus to coach.
I know. But I've been doing some calculations. I think that the championship's going to boil down to the very last event.
The tennis tournament.
Exactly. And that is held off campus.
Well, I'm the only guy on the team that plays tennis, and I'm not all that great.
That's where I come in. I'm going to coach you to beat Chase.
That would be so awesome. Oh my gosh, I would love to see him hurl his racket into the fence a few times.
And we can practice together for the track meet.
Jace is so going to regret passing you by when he was putting his team together.
I hope so. I really hope so.
Let me see your racket. Here, use this one from now on. But I want it back after the tournament's over.
Sweets?
Yeah, and that's where you want to hit it, right in the sweet spot.
Okay.
Now, the most important thing about tennis, the same as in other sports that use a ball, keep your eye on the ball, okay? Focus. Okay, let's go hit. See what you got.
All right.
We've gone through the tests and trials, walked a hard road for many a mile. Our bodies have burned all the while. Now we are stepping out of the fire. We are stepping out of the fire. We've been purged from our fleshly desires. We're endued from on high with power. We are stepping out of the fire. It's never easy to walk through the flames. Our feet become scorched and feel pain. The heat burns the chaff and briars. Now we are stepping out of the fire. We are stepping out of the fire. We've been purged from our fleshly desires. We're endued from on high with power. We are stepping out of the fire. stepping out of the fire, becoming what Jesus desires. We are stepping out of the fire, stepping out of the muck and the mire. We are stepping out of the fire. We've been purged from our fleshly desires. We're endued from on high with power. We are stepping out of the fire. We are stepping out of the fire.
Jason and I are in opposite brackets. I won't face him until the finals, if we make it that far. You had it figured right, Ty. The teams are in a tie for the lead, so whichever one of us scores the most points in the tournament wins the Intramural championship. Thanks for putting all that practice time in with me.
You know, it was my pleasure. It was like having my own son.
What an honor. Plan on making you a proud surrogate, Papa.
Well, Gramps, did you think you were going to win this tennis tournament? Oh, wait, that's right. You're not a student here anymore. Oh well, guess I'll just waltz on through.
Well, I know from experience that if you do any waltzing, you're going to be stepping on somebody's feet.
Please, I'm the best dancing partner you've ever had.
Oh, please. I'd rather partner with the abominable snowman.
How about with me?
That's a given. I'd rather do anything with you. What I'd really like to do with you is celebrate after you win this tournament.
Strawberry shakes at Hardee's this time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I didn't need to warm up to beat you. Let's do this.
M or W?
W for winner.
M for Madison. Ty's hometown. This one's for Ty.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yes! That's a set at 6-4. One down, one to go. Come on, Brad! Darn it! That's a set for Jace, 7-5. Rubber set to decide it. I wanted my strawberry shake now.
Good things are worth waiting for.
Like Brad.
Yes, you can. Just do it. Come on, Brad.
Come on, Brad.
Come on.
Yes! We did it! Yes! All right, way to go, kiddo!
You go to hell.
You go to heaven. Heaven. Jace, I'm gonna be praying for you.
Don't waste your breath.
Prayer's never a waste. Hey, don't forget your racket.
Oh. We did it, Coach.
No, you did it. And now my mission's over. April showers are starting to pitter-patter on the plains of Dakota. It's time for Gramps to go home.
When do you leave?
First thing in the morning.
The church is having a fellowship breakfast in the morning. Can you come eat with us so we can see you off properly?
I can do that. But I'm leaving right after I finish eating.
I'm gonna miss you.
Not as much as I'm gonna miss you. I just pray that my granddaughter, whom I've never met, turns out just like you.
I have something for you.
Wow. Thank you. Would you do me the honor of putting it on me?
I'd love to.
Wow, this is nice. Thank you so much.
I've got a surprise for you too.
Oh, you guys didn't have to do this.
Read it.
No? Okay. You're not gonna try to make me cry with this, I hope. Dear Ty, Wanted to let you know that you tipped my world upside down. I've been studying C.S. Lewis and learned, as he quoted, "A man can no more diminish God's glory by refusing to worship him than a lunatic can put out the sun by scribbling the word darkness on the walls of his cell." As I dive into this study of Christianity, I am amazed by what I see. I'm becoming aware of the refiner's fire through which men such as yourself are forged. I'm also perplexed by the people who are able to embrace Jesus Christ but keep their distance from him. Lewis also said, "Christianity, if false, is of no importance, and if true, of infinite importance. The only thing it cannot be is moderately important." I'm not sure where this journey is taking me. I just know that someone is holding my hand as I travel the path that I never thought really existed. Thank you for shining your beacon into the sky where I found the light of the world. Dr. Maggie Tucker. Oh, wow. God does work in mysterious ways. You know, I just can't figure out why Brad didn't come up here to say goodbye to me.
Brad, he's gonna kill me for telling you this, but he didn't want you to see him cry.
What? He would have been in good company, because I'm going to be crying, bawling like a baby if I don't get out of here pretty soon.
We'll send you a picture of the team with the Intramural trophy. Wish she was in it. This was your team.
No, it was God's team. Well, you guys take care. And be good.
Good. Like you were in Professor Tucker's class.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, we know what you mean. And we're gonna be carrying the battle for truth. No matter if it's rejected by everybody, the truth is the truth.
Amen.
And we'll do our best to spread that truth in love.
I am so honored to be your friend.
And our mentor, and our fearless leader.
Okay, did I mention I hate long goodbyes? I'm out of here, but I will be praying for you kids every day.
And we'll be praying for you.
Thank you.
We'll walk you out.
Oh, that'd be great. What is all this?
It's your fan club.
Yes, young lady.
You guys freak out anytime the name of God is mentioned. What are you so afraid of?
No, we are not afraid of anything. God is supernatural. Science deals with the natural world.
You say that science must rule out the supernatural from the study of life. I'd like to bring up an instance where the establishment of science relies on the supernatural to explain our world.
In what way?
The law of biogenesis. Life only comes from life. If that's true, at some point in time, that law had to be broken in order for life to begin.
It's like gravity. We, in a fashion, break the law of gravity whenever we send a rocket up, which is traveling fast enough to escape the pull of the Earth. Airplanes and balloons seem to defy gravity by other laws of aerodynamics. So, the full law of gravity encompasses all of these parameters and outside influences.
But the phenomena of defining gravity is seen on a daily basis. Our textbook teaches that life only originated one time. If it happened once, why didn't it happen multiple times? Why is it not still happening today? The idea of life springing up through an encounter of certain molecular elements is as ridiculous as thinking I could shake up a can of Legos and pour them out as a sophisticated building. Well, let me quote Fred Hoyle, the man who perhaps drummed up the phrase Big Bang Theory. He said the chance of life generating itself from non-living matter was about like the chance of a tornado going through a junkyard and reassembling a Boeing jet.
I see our time is up for today. Make sure you read chapter 10 in your textbook and have it ready for Wednesday.
Hi, I'm Bobby.
I remember you, the chess player that almost beat Ty.
Yeah, that's me. I want to thank you for standing up and speaking out today. It gave me the courage to do the same.
Ty, taught me that we need to speak the truth in love. That's what I'm trying to do.
Amen. Hey, if you don't mind, I'd like to sit with you in the future.
Birds of a feather flock together.
Yeah, misery loves company.
Let's try to be a bit more optimistic than that.
Yeah, I like your attitude. How come you never spoke up in Biology 100?
Because Ty was always there to speak. Now he's not. Somebody has to carry the torch.
Amen. Hey, maybe sometime we could grab a lemonade or something and talk about carrying the torch?
I'd love to.
T.N. Tamizian from the Atomic Energy Commission said, "Scientists who go about teaching evolution as a fact of life are great con men, and the story they're telling may be the greatest hoax ever."
Albert Einstein said that science without religion is lame, and religion without science is blind.
Ernst Chain, Nobel Prize winner of 1945 in medicine, said, "To postulate that the development and survival of the fittest is entirely a consequence of chain mutations seems to me a hypothesis based on no evidence irreconcilable with the facts. These classical evolutionary theories are a gross oversimplification of an immense complex and intricate mass of facts, and it amazes me that they are swallowed as uncritically and readily and for such a long time by so many scientists without a murmur of protest."
Leo Tolstoy, the famous author, said, "Most men can seldom accept even the simplest and most obvious truth if it obliges them to admit the falsity of conclusions which they have delighted in explaining to colleagues, which they have proudly taught to others, and which they have woven thread by thread into the fabric of their lives."
Evolutionist Richard Warrenton said, "It is not that the methods and institutions of science somehow compel us to accept a material explanation of the phenomenal world, but on the contrary that we are forced by or a priori adherence to material causes us to create an apparatus of investigation and a set of concepts that produce material explanations, no matter how mystifying to the uninitiated. Moreover, that materialism is absolute, for we cannot allow divine foot in the door."
Hey, you're back.
Ted!
So how'd the war go? Did you win it?
This war is never won. It's going to be ongoing until Jesus returns. However, I think I did win a few battles, and as a result, there's a few more soldiers on the battlefield to give the devil something to worry about.
What's that around your neck?
This is something that reminds me of two very special people in my life, both of whom raised people from the dead.
We'll not stand alone. We'll press on with our heads held high. When we approach the danger zone, yes, deep in our hearts we'll know that our captain, he will guide us till the end. Chosen to be a soldier, pick up your cross and run. Chosen to be a soldier, led by the mighty one. Chosen to be a soldier, we'll march on to victory's song. Chosen to be a soldier, destined to overcome. The war rages on when we think we can't go on. He gives us strength to face our final mile. And in those deep, dark trials, we can still see his smile and know the battle is not ours, it's the Lord's. Chosen to be a soldier, pick up your cross and run. Chosen to be a soldier, led by the mighty one. Chosen to be a soldier, we'll march on to victory's song. Chosen to be a soldier, destined to overcome. Chosen to be a soldier, pick up your cross and run. Chosen to be a soldier, led by the mighty one. Chosen to be a soldier, we'll march on to victory's song. Chosen to be a soldier, destined to overcome. Chosen to be a soldier,